good. And welcome to the Relentless podcast. We have an epic episode up today. We are interviewing the man, ZAC SMITH. Welcome.
Thanks, bro. It's nice to be here.
Awesome, my friend. Now, I'm going to add you to the magnificent IG Live as well, because we spawn. We go everywhere. Turn the volume down.
Multiple channels all at the same time.
All right. Welcome, my man, to the show.
Thanks, bro.
How's things?
Fantastic, mate. Feeling good.
Started the day in an epic way with me.
Always. Yeah, it's been a good routine to get started. First session we do together, I pull my hammy.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. We went hard though, didn't we?
Yeah,
it's good, man. I love that. I love getting around people that just train fucking hard and have that focus. And you and me, and obviously we're training with Jakey Boy as well. Yeah, got that similar mentality. So of course we're going to injure ourselves because we go all out.
It's nice to be accountable as well. Like I've been training myself for a little while, and I don't know, I haven't been pushing myself as hard as I could. So it's been good to jump on the bandwagon with you guys and 100%. Push myself a bit harder.
Absolutely, man. So look, thank you for coming on the show.
No worries.
Dude, we've got so much to talk about, and I think it's going to be really interesting for people to see and learn a little bit more about you, and learn a bit more about your journey as well. And it's been a pretty epic journey. I mean, you're one of Australia's biggest fitness influencers. You've done a lot in your time, and it's going to be cool to peel back the layers and talk about the mindset behind sort of how you got to where you are today.
Let's peel them back.
No, nothing held back. We're going to war. It's going to be good times. Yeah. So, man, you're one of Australia's biggest fitness influencers, and again, it's of course a process and a journey. Can you take us back? How did you get started in the fitness game? How did it all start for you?
Well, to begin with, it was a circumstance that I really didn't want to be in. I was playing semi-professional rugby union with Penrith. Yeah. And I ended up breaking my ankle. So I was back on my own touchline, defending the line, ended up breaking my ankle. And at the time, I was actually doing an internship at the gym that sponsored the team. Yeah. So I was kind of interested in fitness, but I was getting paid to play rugby. So that was kind of my thing. And I thought that I was going to be a professional rugby player. And all my eggs were in that basket. Yeah. So having the broken ankle kind of was a major setback, made me really depressed and, really down. But I guess the silver lining with that was I had to go to the gym to do rehabilitation exercises. Yeah. And in doing that, I also started doing, normal like bodybuilding stuff as well. And obviously doing that, started to see visual progression, started to feel good. And I started to help the people around me, my friends and stuff. They'd notice a difference and I'd help them too. That became really fun. And I was like, look, I've done a whole bunch of different jobs that I hate, even at a young age. And I was like, it's probably, something that I should pursue considering I really enjoy it, Yeah, I heard this saying like, it's not work if you enjoy what you do for so long. And I was like, this is actually it, So I pursued that and I started to study fitness. I got my certifications and from there, just started doing personal training. Yeah. Did as many sessions as I could in the gym until I was kind of capped out. Yeah. But I wanted to tap into a more global market. So that's when ZACSmithFitness.com was created. Yeah. And from then I was able to scale that company and grow. And it's been allowed me to travel the world and meet new people, go to expos and I guess live life more on my own terms, Yeah, and to reach a way broader audience. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's incredible, man, because it's one thing to find what you're passionate about. It's another thing to then create a successful business around it and then continue to stay dynamic and grow and change with the times as well. And it doesn't matter if you are a influencer or you are running a bricks and mortar company. There's so many ups and downs in business. It's freaking hard. Would you agree with that?
Oh, continually learning, aren't you?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really, really tough. And I think that's what people don't really understand. They probably look at people that have that sort of run their marketing from Instagram and think, oh, fuck, this must be just so easy. You just post a few photos and it's all good to go. But they don't understand the actual inner workings of what has to happen behind the scenes.
It's a continual grind and hustle as well, man.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, when did you start doing Instagram? I'm like, fuck, like 7 years ago. posting 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Like back when that wasn't going to affect the algorithm, I was posting all the time.
Yeah.
Giving people as much information as I could, like every meal that I prepped, every workout that I did, trying to provide motivation. And I was posting consistently like 3 or 4 times a day for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then of course, that's just the front end of marketing. You've got the actual business side behind the scenes, the website, the technical side.
Exactly.
I mean, it's intense. So I guess let's peel the curtain back a little bit from the business standpoint. You know, I love talking about the hard times in business and how fucked up it is, because again, when I'm selling a franchise or I'm opening a new company center or starting a new business, anyone I'm getting involved with, I always pre-frame and say, don't think for a second this is an easy gig. This is not easy. This is fucked up. Business is 80% fucked up and 20% glory.
It's not set and forget.
Exactly right. So tell me about the reality of starting your business, and let's just talk about maybe some of the challenges and how you mentally and emotionally push through that to keep growing.
Okay, well, I think at the start, obviously being an online personal trainer, there was a certain number of hours that I had to, you know, give to my clients. And obviously there has to be a point where you cap it out. Otherwise, you know, you're going to start diluting your own work and people aren't going to get the best of you, right? So it got to the point where I couldn't manage all the clients that I had. It was getting too many. So I decided to outsource and get a team start working for me. So I had a man and a woman, a married couple, both working for me, doing some programming for me.
That's awesome.
I was very transparent with my clients. I was like, look, I've got a team helping me out. If you need anything from myself personally, we'll have Skype interviews, conversations like that. But like in terms of the programming, that was all going to be done by my team, because I simply can't, you know, service as many clients as I need to do, and give like everyone exactly what they deserve. So there was a point where I had to kind of outsource and start to, you know, build a little bit of a team. And then ever since then, I mean, that kind of got scaled to the point where it actually made more sense to have an application. And then the application also has a team that works, you know, all the back end stuff, the stuff that I have absolutely no idea. Really no idea about. They're taking care of all of that as well. So it's become kind of like it was a sliding scale of like obviously trying to minimize the number of hours I'm spending in the business and maximizing the amount of hours I'm spending on the business. And then from there, I was able to free up my time and do other things as well. Yeah,
that's awesome. And I think just a teachable moment there for everyone listening. It's like you don't need to know you don't need to be the master of every function of your business.
Don't have to wear all the hats.
Nah, man, you got to delegate in order to expand. You can't scale and just be in everything. I think people like you and me probably initially find that difficult, because I'm a bit of a control freak.
To be hands-on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's actually a bit of a mindset shift where you have to detach a bit and let go and trust the process.
Well, I mean, it's just giving trust in someone to do a job that they're supposedly better at than you, which is fine, but at the start it can be difficult to get rid of that control.
100%. Yeah. So man, I want to talk a little bit about mindset, because as we mentioned, I can see that we have similar mindsets in regards to training and the discipline around that, competing, things of that nature. And I mean, that flows into every part of life, doesn't it? Business, relationships, things of that nature. So tell me, how important is mindset to you, and how do you currently sort of sharpen that sword every day?
Mindset for me is really important. I think I'm always trying to preach positivity, and for people to kind of take, you know, whatever they can into their own control. Like the things that are in their control, they should really take control of. Obviously, the things that are out of your control, try and just kind of emotionally let go of those, because there's no point in spending time on those things. But for myself, I've got like a bit of a, you know, a nice morning routine, an evening routine. Like I start really early. Well, let's start with, I go to bed really early. I told you I was in bed by like 7:30 last night. I get my 8 hours of sleep, and then whenever that's you know, I'm ready to get up, I usually just get up without an alarm, 4:30 or 5 or something, starting the day early, get out the door, walk the dog, practicing gratitude when I'm on the beach. No one's around, it's really quiet, you can just hear the ocean, and just kind of just look out and, you know, be grateful for the things that I do have. It's very easy to kind of get caught up sometimes in what you don't have, or what you're lacking, or what you want to have, which you desire that you don't quite yet have. And it's like, if you continually perpetuate that mindset, you're going to be feeling pretty down, because I think you're very similar to me. We're speaking on the beach yesterday about this. Like, we're never going to be really satisfied. We need to make sure we celebrate the wins along the way. Otherwise you just get old and a bit more rich, but that's about it. You know, you need to be really celebrating your wins as you go, and being grateful for the things you have.
I love that. I agree. Gratitude is so freaking important. It's such an underused muscle by people. And I find a lot of people initially find it hard to actually tap into gratitude. Did you find it hard initially when you started to make it a bit of a focus to find like gratitude for the smaller things, or is it sort of more natural for you?
Well, I mean, that's how you have to start really small, you know, because if you not practice at it, then it's kind of like a bit overwhelming, because if you start small, then it's really easy, you know, like I wake up, I'm grateful for my health, you know, I feel good today. I'm grateful for the place that I live. I'm grateful for the food that I'm eating today. Very, very basic. And then from those things, you can start expanding on that and extrapolating on those things, you know.
Yeah,
I think to start basic is easy, because we've all got something to be grateful for. Like, we all go through heap shit times, but there's always something you can be grateful for, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's a gateway. Well, it is the gateway to every other positive emotion. I mean, you can't live in fear and hate when you're living in gratitude. It's impossible.
Exactly right.
To feel anything else. And so when sometimes when clients say to me, "Oh, I just can't figure out how to be grateful," it always baffles me a little bit, but the strategy that I give them is to go to extremes. So it's like, so I can tap in and be grateful for this water straight away, just because I've trained myself, conditioned myself. But some people are like, "Oh, but it's just water. I've always had water, so I don't know how to be grateful for it." I'm like, get on YouTube, go watch the most fucked up scenes of people over in Africa, let's say, that haven't had any water. They're dying.
Mate, you're making me thirsty.
Yeah, man.
Grateful for this.
You're absolutely grateful. But go to an extreme, check out the really bad side of it, and then be freaking grateful. And it's a good way to sort of train yourself to be grateful for the smaller things.
I've got a really like extremist mindset in that respect as well. Like when I'm getting tattooed, I always like to manage the pain, I always imagine people getting tortured.
Yeah.
Like, if they can get tortured and stuff like that.
That's actually good, yeah.
But I can sit through this little needle going in my skin, you know what I mean?
100%.
And I just think of it such an extremist way.
Yeah.
But it helps me through.
I do the same in business. So I've got like, in my office in Melbourne, I've got all these photos of what I call mentors, which is just people that I aspire to be like Elon Musk and Michael Jordan and these guys. And if I ever hit a business problem or a challenge that's just like full on,
what would MJ do?
What would MJ do? Yeah. Well, or I look up and I think like, you know, the story of Elon Musk, you know, he nearly went bankrupt with 3 of the biggest companies in the world and nearly lost his mind, and he was under his desk crying many times. But I mean, if he can do that and then get us to Mars, I can freaking do this, you know?
Yeah, he's a good one to look at. Yeah. That guy's out of control.
He's a visionary of, you know, extreme proportions. Yeah. That's awesome, man. And what other rituals do you sort of use in order to keep that mindset sharp? Because obviously we all hit sort of roadblocks during the day, and you and me talked a little bit about mindset quite a bit on our walks, etc. And there's sort of little different practices that we do. Let's say you hit a challenge or a problem in the day. How do you get yourself out of a funk?
Bro, just slowing things down, breathing is big for me. And I've recently started to use it more and be more conscious of the fact that I need to use it more, because if I start getting in a funk, as you said, like it's really easy to kind of, I guess, let the anxiety get away from you and start thinking about all the negative things. And then you get yourself in a rut and it's hard to do anything. But if you kind of hit a roadblock and you kind of need to reevaluate where you're at, I think like just, you know, closing your eyes, doing 10 deep breaths, like it just centers you and you're able to move forward with the day. With a way clearer mind. Like it makes the biggest impact for me personally, really does. Like
100%.
If I'm feeling anxious or something, like I've made a conscious effort to just kind of take a step back, sit or stand and breathe. And even when I'm getting in the elevator now, so I live on like level 29, so I've got a few flights to get up every time I get in the elevator. So now just if I'm by myself, I'll just close my eyes, do some deep breaths, because you know, you're not doing anything in the elevator. You can't use your phone. And that's something that's a very big thing for me as well. I hate how much I use my phone. I hate it, and I think everyone should use it less. And I say that as an addict. You know? Like I'm using my phone all the time. So if I'm in the elevator, I can't use it. You got no reception. You got no service. You can't do shit. So I'm just sitting there taking some deep breaths, and then when the door opens, I'm like, feel good, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? It is. It's a huge state changer for sure. I think, do you, I've recently, probably in the last 12, 24 months, taken up a bit of breath work and a little bit of meditation. I don't have full discipline over it. Jace, our man here, he does a lot of meditation as well. Do you practice breath work, meditation, anything like that?
I'd say that my form of meditation is through stretching and breathing. Like in the morning before I go on my walks, just through, you know, doing bodybuilding for the last 10 years, I'm 30 now, and you would know as well, maybe aches and pains and stuff, right? So in the morning before I go on walks, I do about 5 minutes of stretching, and as I'm doing the stretching, taking deep breaths, preparing myself for the day, just easing myself into it. But I wouldn't say I consciously meditate. I think
more of an active meditation.
Yeah, with my eyes shut, concentrating on my breathing. if that's considered meditation, then I'm doing that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everyone does it in their own ways, but I think that centers me and makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's a good, it's like a good pattern interrupt. I mean, you don't need to do it for hours. It literally could be a few seconds, couldn't it? 30 seconds to just completely diffuse some emotions that hold you back. It's interesting.
Yoga was good for me as well. When I was in Thailand on the last trip, or one of the last trips I did a yoga class in the morning. Yeah. And it was a great way to start the day.
Yeah, nice.
Really, really good. Nice. Like dynamic yoga. I can't remember what it's called, maybe yin.
Yeah,
like It's like dynamic, you're moving around and really stretching, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's a great way to start the day. Really centered me and made me feel good.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good practice. I mean, I sort of flow in and out of it. It's not a consistent. I mean, weight training and whatever's sort of more consistent for me. I should do a lot more stretching. I'm sure you're the same. But yeah, it is. Once you do sort of get into a bit of a pattern of it, it's super valuable, and it does change how you sort of set your day up. It's quite incredible.
Well, sometimes you need to see like an instant result for you to get hooked on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if you're not enjoying it, like you're not going to force yourself to keep doing it.
Exactly.
But with me, even just the stretching in the morning and the breathing things, like I can see direct, immediate effects straight away. So it keeps me going.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll just touch on something you just mentioned then. We actually spoke about this sort of this morning when we were training, but you mentioned that social media addict, and we talked a little bit about social media, and it's funny, you and me are both heavily on our social media, of course, but we also understand the boundaries around that and the effects it's potentially having on society. What do you have like a message for the kids out there that potentially are growing up addicted and also impacted in quite a scary way, that maybe their confidence is being affected, the way they view the world, themselves, their friends, their self-esteem's been affected? What do you want to say to those kids?
It's just so hard to say, because like obviously my perspective on it is a perspective from someone that, Facebook and Instagram came about when I was finishing my HSC. So like we didn't have like the popularity contest online until, I was out of school. So the conversation we're having this morning, it's really sad, the fact that like kids going through primary school, whoever's got phones in primary school, then into high school through adolescence, like it's I don't know, there's a direct link between, kids and having like their popularity visible in a number on how many followers they have or something like that. And I can't imagine how much, people are getting affected by that growing up, because it's in your face all the time.
Yeah.
But I think, for me to say, you shouldn't be on your phone as much, growing up, is like, I'm on my phone all the time. Yeah. So that'd be really hypocritical for me to say.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's unhealthy for all of us, not just kids growing up. I think all of us are doing it too much.
Yeah.
It does feel good to detach. And I think, even having a full day where you try not to use social media is a good, healthy thing. I think in Sundays, I'm going to start doing this with my partner. We both agreed that Sundays are going to be the day where we just kind of switch off and we don't use it at all, which I think would be nice. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do another podcast on it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I think you're right. It does. People don't realize the effect it actually has on your clarity and energy and mood until you do detach from it. You don't know until you know. So I think it is having a pretty huge effect, and it's sort of scary, isn't it?
Well, I started to set a timer. There's a timer on Instagram you can actually set to let it give you a reminder once you've used a certain number.
Oh, no way, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I set a timer. If I use an hour on Instagram, then it comes up with a notification. Yeah. So when I see that, I'm kind of like, oh, fuck.
That's great.
I've been scrolling.
Yeah,
wasting
100%.
some time, because the work that I do on Instagram and me posting is, a tiny fraction of the time that I'm spending on there just fucking around.
And then you get sucked into the vortex.
Oh, there's always something to look at, you know what I mean?
And then you just wake up 4 days later in a day. Yeah, exactly right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right. It's crazy, man. So that's interesting. So guys listening, get onto the timer, the Instagram timer. That's a cool tip. I actually didn't know that. So yeah, very cool. Man, I want to talk about your success and the discipline that it takes to actually be successful. And I know that you're going to be competing next year, and you're going to be pushing your business in different directions, and you clearly have a high level of discipline and the ability to sacrifice. Where do you think you learned that from? Where did that start for you?
I reckon probably when I first had a big goal and I wanted to be, different, I wanted to stand out, and I think bodybuilding taught me all of it. Yeah. Because like you can't achieve, a great physique without having all those things. You need to be disciplined. You need to sacrifice things that you're used to eating, drinking, all that stuff. So I think bodybuilding taught me a lot of it, and it it's been leaked out into the rest of my life, and you know, business and everything like that comes with it. So I think super important just to be consistent, man. Like from the start, just being consistent with everything. If you start something, try and finish it, and don't just like dilly dally with it. Like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like be all in on a couple of things. I think like a lot of people are taking on so much that they're not getting much done. Like it's, you know, people doing a little bit of everything, and then it's like, well, what are you really doing well at? You know what I mean? And it's very rare for someone to be able to smash like 10 different projects all at once, you know? Well. So I think, from that, maybe bodybuilding taught me all of that stuff. I'd say.
Yeah, very true.
Because without that, like that started when I was maybe 20 years old. And before that, I was just working as a labourer, working as a tree lopper, and all these jobs. Just, you know, I just turn up for work, use my physical strength, and that was it. And I'd go home. You know, I didn't work for myself. I had no reason to be disciplined apart from getting to work on time. As soon as bodybuilding came in, it was all about that, you know?
I agree 100%. And it is that ability to show up even when you don't feel like it, and pushing through pain. I think, you know, your ability to tolerate uncomfortable, to tolerate pain, to tolerate, you know, those moments of frustration and still do the work in the gym, outside of the gym, man, that's a freaking superpower that people need to take advantage of.
It makes it easy when you love it though, man. Like,
it's true.
I'm speaking to my clients sometimes and like, how do you stay motivated? And I'm like, I fucking love the feeling of being in the gym. Like I love the feeling of having a pump. It's just, it's one of those things that at the start you got to push through, because at the start it sucks, man. Like I remember when I first started training, like fucking whole body's just sore. You don't look good. You don't get a pump. You got no veins anywhere. You just, you know, you're just starting out. So you got to be consistent and push through that shit phase to, see the fruits of it.
So I guess it's about having a vision, isn't it? It's like being confident enough in your own vision, or the vision of where you want to go, to stick with it. Because I think most people, I see this all the time. I mean, we've got so many clients throughout Melbourne, 18 locations. People start and they quit sometimes because they just don't believe that they can be that person at the other end of the transformation, or they don't think that they have it in them to be fit, to be healthy. Their identity hasn't shifted, you know what I mean?
So do you think that's a learned kind of attribute for people?
Absolutely.
Like they need to learn it?
Yeah, I think they need to be guided on that. I think that most people don't have the awareness or the ability to just tap into that on their own. If they did, the world would be a completely different place. But I think that, you know, for people like you and me that have a passion, that have gone through the process, it's our duty and responsibility to shine the light.
For sure.
And show them that it can be done. And that's why, you know, this is why it doesn't matter what sort of fitness you do. You know, I never bag out any fitness. I never bag any company, any brand, anyone who's out there
having a crack.
You know, CrossFit, this, that, yoga, Pilates, whatever. If you want to do something and it's improving your life, and you can see the progression, you're trying to show someone how to be better, then you are a legend to me.
If it feels good, do it, man.
Exactly right. So anyone in our field, anyone mentoring people that are going through that, I think it's a really positive thing. But I do believe that you need to show them and help them build a vision, and then also pre-frame the challenges. Because if you're not, you know, as I just said in business, people go into business and think, oh, I'm going to be Elon Musk in a year. And it's like, no, man, you stay consistent for 10 years, and then maybe you'll get close. You'll start scratching the surface. But people over-exaggerate and sort of over-glorify.
Everyone wants it to be immediate, man. Like,
exactly.
Wants a quick fix.
Exactly. It's the same in fitness and health. So it's about us showing them that this isn't for everyone. But if you are willing to stick it out and go through the aches and pains and to, you know, fuck up, take 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, 2 steps again, 4 steps back sometimes, and then keep going, you will get there. Like eventually.
You're just got to try and be relatable, man. Like when people are just starting their fitness journeys and stuff, like if they're overweight, you know, or they're super skinny or something, you got to just, you know, tell them that you've been there before. Obviously, you know, I haven't been overweight, but when I was younger, really skinny, and just kind of tell them it takes time, it takes progression, and it takes discipline and sacrifice. Like, I think you have to kind of learn that along the way as well. And it's not for everyone though. Sometimes people just can't, you know, push through, but I guess they need a better coach.
Yeah, well, that's true.
They need consistent mentoring, or they need something extra, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I think that more people, like, leadership's lacking in the world right now. And I think the more leaders out there shining a light, a strong one, the better.
We've got so much information though now, like online, YouTube, there's so much to learn, and so much information out there for people who do want to make a change, which is fantastic. You know, it's not like it used to be, like when you'd have to go and pay for a personal trainer.
That's right.
For an hour session. Like there's a lot of stuff on the line you can do. You know, even someone selling plans like myself, like I'd still, you know, I'd advise people to go check out what information there is on YouTube, on Instagram, even people giving out free tips. You can make a difference to your physique and your lifestyle just by using the free information you have at the hand, you know, at your fingertips.
Absolutely, yeah. But more now than ever, there's so many options. And you know, on that point, I think that I say this to my team and all my franchisees. You know, I say that you can get a plan anywhere. You can type in free plan, and plan's going to rock up. Yeah. You know, our clients aren't investing in plans; they're investing in leadership and mentoring. That's really what they're investing in: culture, accountability, leadership, and mentoring. Yeah. And I think you need to nail that, and also love it and be passionate about it to be successful in this game. Would you agree with that?
I agree, 100%, man. It's a lot easier as well for yourself being in some of these clubs face to face with these clients, because, like, you know, hanging out with you, I've realized that you've got that kind of really like upbeat personality, and you really kind of you've got charisma, and like you can motivate people. Like I feel good when I'm around you, you know, which is good. So I think for your clients and people that you come into contact with, that would be really important for them too, and I'm sure that's what they're paying for.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So again, I think that's probably what sets people apart in the game these days is having that and putting a face to a brand as well. So important. Yeah. Man, let's talk about some of the ups and downs of life, because we talk about health and fitness, and look, one thing's for sure, you know, life is amazing. We love life, but it's full of challenges and ups and downs. Yeah. And man, I've gone through some big ups and downs. I think people, again, they look at people like you and me and they think, oh, these guys just are always positive, always happy, because we promote it and we love it. Yeah. And we live to that standard as much as we can. But admittedly, we both have, you know, run into some dark times in our lives, right?
Yeah, you got to see low lows to feel high highs.
And appreciate them, So, man, has there been a time in your life that maybe you want to share with us that was a real maybe dark or challenging point for you? And how did you just say, no, I'm not settling for this, I'm moving out of it?
Yeah, let's talk about sobriety, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to get into that.
So for the last maybe 5 years, I've just been, I wouldn't say struggling with it, but it's definitely been a real strong part of my life. Like I've been abusing alcohol and using party drugs on the weekends and stuff like that. And only recently, at the start of this year, I decided to completely give it up and go sober.
Yes.
And I have documented that on my socials. I've made a video about it on my YouTube channel for any of you guys who want to go check it out. But I did it because I'd completely had enough. It started to affect my physical health, my mental health. I was constantly on an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. I was, you know, suffering from like bad anxiety because of it. And I wasn't making progress. And something that I spoke to you about already, it was hard for me to kind of detach from it completely, because I did have a business that was semi-autonomous, you know. So I could go out and have big weekends and, you know, write myself off and money would still be coming in. Yeah. So for me, it was like, for a long time there, I was like, well, I can still do this. Is it really a problem? And I keep lying to myself whether it was a problem, because I was still making money and I was still able to finance the lifestyle that I wanted to live, you know? Yeah. But it was just the most unhealthy shit ever, man. Yeah. And like now being, 9 months sober, like the clarity I have, the way I feel, the progress I've made, the new friendships I've built, the things I've been able to achieve this year is just on a whole nother level. Yeah. So like, I'm so proud of myself. And I think for anyone who is struggling with that, it's just a day by day thing, man. You just got to fucking just tick off the notches. Like at the start, count the days, just be fucking strong. And then, you know, the further into it you get, like the more you resent the thought of going back to that. Yeah. Like being 9 months sober now, like I have no desire to drink or do drugs or anything. Like no desire whatsoever. Yeah. Because I just don't want to take a backward step. But also, not even that, like, I don't want to break my streak. You know, like I've gone this long.
Be competitive.
if I just had a drink right now, one of the drinks there, like that would set my timer back to day one.
Yes, exactly.
1 day sober.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that mindset though. It's great.
Such an extremist mentality. But at the same time, that was my mentality when I was doing drugs and drinking. It's like, you know, I never drank alcohol for the taste of alcohol. I drank alcohol for the feeling. Yeah. And to get the feeling that I wanted from alcohol, I'd have to drink a whole bottle. Yes. And that's the most unhealthy shit ever. Yeah. And it's not sustainable. Yeah. And I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. And it's just like, for me to realize that I had an unhealthy relationship with it has made me realize that I'm happy to be on the other end of it, being an extremist personality saying I'm not going to do it at all because there's no point.
Bro, again, I just want to give you a shout out and props because it's so brave, man. Number one, it's a huge challenge because it's a real issue and challenge for so many people. And I think now people are going to relate to this so much, man, because COVID has thrown so many people into the darker end of this spectrum where they've got an excuse to sit at home and just escape from the dramas of life. And I think they're going to really relate to this. But what I want to say about your situation is that number one, it's a massive challenge and accomplishment. But number two, you are in the spotlight in a huge way. And for you to come out, especially being in the fitness industry, it's not like you own the biggest motor sports chain in the world or something.
Subject,
exactly. Right? Like you're in the fitness game and you were brave enough to come out and be authentic and tell your story because you want to help others do the same thing. So I just want to read the post that you posted. I believe this was your first post when you came out and told everyone that you were going sober and that you had a problem and you were man enough to fix it. So this is what you said. You said, please read. Does what you're doing support the life you want to live? For me, the most part of the last few years has been the easy answer, no. I was complacent, lazy, easily peer pressured, mentally weak, inconsistent, unmotivated, and I was operating at 30% of my potential. This year, I'm committed to being a better for myself. I'm committed to gaining back all the self-respect I lost over the last couple of years, and starting fresh and surrounding myself with only the people who want to help me get better and be a better person. This year, I'm committed to doing 6 months of sobriety. Most of you wouldn't know that I was drinking frequently, amongst other things, and the last couple of years, I'm not proud of it. It was a waste of time, money, and energy, and life, and I can't get all of that back, but I can prove to myself I don't need, nor do I want that in my life anymore, and complete 6 months sober. After that, I doubt I want to go back to my old ways, and I'm excited for this new chapter. I wanted it to be honest with you all because it's important for me that you all know who I am. I'm not hiding anything. I am who I am, and I'm committed to being better. I hope you all are too. Man, freaking epic. A little bit emotional. Like it's full on, dude. It's so brave that you went out there because you wouldn't know what people are going to respond. Like people are going to come at you and try and destroy your business, call you this and that. How did you feel? I'm assuming, let's paint a vision. You're sitting at home, maybe sober, I assume.
Definitely.
A little bit nervous about to pump this out and tell the world. What was going through your head and how did you feel?
The weight lifted off my shoulders, man.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like, of course I was interested to see what the reaction would be, but I didn't care. Like from being on social media for years now, there's always going to be people that just talk shit and try and bring you down. So I was ready for that, but I was also ready for people to support me because I think nowadays, especially, just being transparent, honest, and open about things is only going to be beneficial for you, your career, everyone around you. And I think it's super important, man. So I think for so long, I was kind of doing the right thing by other people in terms of like my business, helping people and stuff, but I wasn't doing the right thing by myself, and I didn't feel good about that. And I was constantly trying to hide it, and I wouldn't tell people about it. I wouldn't open up about it. Do it in the surroundings of my own home, bring people to my house instead of going out and drinking, things like that. I became quite a recluse when I was doing drugs and drinking. It's so unhealthy, man. And it's, to write that post and release it was just a weight off my shoulders because like it just kind of it just solidified everything. Like it was accountability. Like I'm writing it on paper, I'm putting it out to the world, so there's no going back now, and I wanted to solidify that. Look,
I have no doubt that not only did it inspire people and also you would have gained a lot of trust and credibility in my eyes, but I think that it really would help people that are struggling with the same issue because this is common. This is not an uncommon thing.
I get a lot of messages about it,
I bet you did, man. I bet you did. And this is so common. It happens all the time. People really, really struggle and it leads to things like suicide, self-harm. What do you want to say to the people out there that are listening that are just freaking inspired by the bravery, courage and the challenge you've accomplished? What do you want to say to the people that are stuck right now?
Try not to be swayed by all the people around you, man. Because you get stuck in a certain group of people and they're always going to do the same thing. So it's like for me, I don't dislike any of the people that I used to do this stuff with. I think they're amazing people, but it seems to me now that they were situational friendships, right? So it's like they would always want to hang out, but every time they want to hang out, it's just doing drugs or drinking and stuff. And it's like, at that point in my life, that was fine because that's what I wanted to do. But when you stop doing that, it's like you don't hear from them anymore. So if anyone's trying to, you know, do anything like what I did, or just even start with trying a month sober or something like that, just set yourself small goals. Just chip away at them, because I think for me, like, the longer I went without it, the better I felt. And when you can start feeling better, you don't want to go back to how you felt before. I think just set yourself some sort of like goal is super important as well. Like for me, I said 6 months. Like that's exactly what I want to do. And then when I hit 6 months, I've just kept going, you know, like I don't want to celebrate it by fucking drinking and doing drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And I think a lot of people would do that. If they set a smaller goal, like a month, it's like, oh, I made a month, you know, let's get
blind.
Right? So I think just to set some small goals and be realistic with yourself. It's going to be fucking difficult, and you're going to have to maybe separate yourself from some people, some negative influences, man, because, you know, that shit's hard. But you got to do that in life.
I love that. If
things aren't serving you, if the people around you are, you know, trying to compel you to do bad shit that's bad for your health, that's not making you make forward progress, like, get that shit out of your life.
I mean, what's that quote? People come into your life for reasons, seasons, or forever, or something like that. That's my quote, but that's my version. But it's so true, and I want to touch on that. You know, it would have been challenging for you to potentially say goodbye to certain groups of friends and start up leveling. How important do you think it is to continually evolve in life, that you then continually to evolve your circle, right, with the right people?
I think the right people just come into your life at the right time because you're doing the right thing. So being sober and promoting that just brought people into my life that were sober, doing things for themselves. You know, it's like I think you attract what you put out. So for me to make it really known in public that I was doing that, it's not like I had to message all my friends and go, "Sorry, bro, we can't hang out anymore." It was, they know I'm sober, so they didn't call me on the weekend.
It's a
they know I'm going to say no. You know, the first 2 weeks they did fucking pester me, and they were like, "Come on, man, what are you doing? Like, let's go." And I was like, "No, I'm doing this thing. You know, I'm doing this thing. You got to respect that." And, you know, as the weeks and months went on, you just don't hear from them. So it's not like you have to cut ties and be rude about it. The people that, you know, are going to try and negatively influence you are just going to kind of fade away. And a lot of the time I think they do that because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Because they don't want to talk to you about your sobriety because it makes them feel bad about it.
They've got to face their own demons.
Right? So, you know, I don't want that for them, but I'm not going to pressure them into being sober either. Do your own fucking thing. I don't care what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, I want the best for you, but if you're going to contact me just to get on it, then it's like, it's not going to happen. But I'm not going to keep pestering you to go and do a sober date with me, you know, like go get some food sober. Like, I'm not going to pester you to do that. There's people that support my vision and that want to see me healthier and happier that will come and do that shit with me anyway.
Exactly.
So I think the right people come into your life for the right reasons when you're doing the right thing.
100%. And something I'm interested in regards to this journey is that a lot of people, when they do have a challenge like this, they get addicted, and it's a bit of a lifestyle thing. It feels a huge part of their life, right? So once you remove this chunk of your life, you know, a lot of people then feel like, holy shit, like, who am I? My identity is stripped away. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm lonely, depressed, like whatever. What happened to you? What was the process? Number one, did you have to then fill it with other things? Did you have a plan, or did you feel weird, like your identity was stripped, or what was the emotional process?
It wasn't like a identity thing. It was just like a habit. You know, like the weekend came and I was like, oh, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I was about to get up and go do something, but it just, that fades away as well. So I think you just make new habits, and I have so much more time now, bro. Like, I'm making progress, and there's no backward steps. Like, I don't have hangovers. I don't have days where I'm eating bad food. I don't make backward steps with my physique. Like, it's all progress. And that's the biggest lesson that I've had from all this, is like, it feels so good to not have any exterior factors playing on my progress. I'm in control of everything now. And it's like, obviously, like, I like to have control as well, same as yourself. So if you know, eliminate that from your life, it's like, there's no telling what you can do. You can achieve so much more, man. Like, I've been so much more productive with this year than I've ever been my whole life. Like, it's been the best year of my life.
I love that. I think we should highlight that point. I mean, you were saying that this year with sobriety, you have just accelerated every facet. And I think people need to hear that, because a lot of people have the mindset like, I'm cutting it out and FOMO, I'm missing out. This is scarcity mentality, but it's actually, I'm cutting it out and I'm gaining everything. I'm gaining life. Man. Yeah.
More life. I feel like a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like completely different person. Not because of the way I'm acting or the way I'm interacting with other people, but just the way I feel. I feel so much better, healthier,
what have you noticed
happier.
in your emotional and thinking?
Man, like just less up and downs.
Yeah.
Emotionally just
so stable,
like happy, man. My baseline of happiness is so much higher than it used to be.
Yeah, wicked.
And you know, when you're doing drugs and drinking, it's like you're drinking because you want to feel different, you know, or you're doing drugs because you want to feel happier or be high. Yeah. My baseline of happiness now is like, it's like I'm always fucking on, man.
Yeah.
You know, I feel good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling happy, and it's like, I don't need that stuff. So, you know, I don't want to preach about it as if like I feel like, you know, other people that are still doing it, I don't want to talk down about them at all. I just want people to realize that it makes you feel so much better, and like you owe it to yourself to give it a shot if it's a problem for you.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like some people have a handle on it.
Yeah.
And some people do it, you know, responsibly.
Yeah.
And they can have a balance.
Yeah.
There was no balance for me, bro. No balance.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't find that.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy the taste of alcohol, so I was like, I'm doing it to get fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And then you drink a lot, and then you do drugs. It's like it's a snowball effect, man.
It was about having that real and raw conversation with yourself, and a lot of people just aren't prepared to get that vulnerable, even with themselves, like let alone someone else. But
honesty
to look
with the voice in your own head,
oh,
man.
you got to, man. You got to.
And it's hard, but it is hard to face, you know, your own, I guess, shortcomings. Yeah. And all the things you need to work on. Like,
I'm sure this was a bit of a progress as well. Like the first time you thought, I'm going to go sober, I'm sure it didn't. You go, fuck, I'm just going sober. Like maybe multiple times did it happen where you're like, I'm just not happy with this. I don't like who I'm turning into. Or were those thoughts sort of consistent for a few months, and then you thought, nah, I've had enough. This is on.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that it was getting to a point where it was starting to affect my health, my mental health. And then, you know, just having like a huge New Year's Eve. Yeah. And just kind of, writing myself off just kind of tipped me over the edge. I was like, I can't do this anymore, man. I went to visit my mum, and she lives on a farm, and it was like fucking 45 degrees, bro, when I went there. I was like so scattered and hungover from New Year's Eve. Yeah. And I felt terrible. Like I was like, felt like I had sleep paralysis. For anyone that knows what that is, it's like terrible. You feel like you're going to fall asleep when you're standing up. You like shake, you like have tremors and stuff. And I had all this stuff, and I was like, I don't want this in my life. Like I want to get as far away from this feeling as I possibly can. So the only way to do that was to get completely sober. Wow, man.
It's awesome. What a journey, dude. What a journey. And so now after all of that, it's like you got no urges at all. You've reset basically.
I don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Because like the circle of friends that I have now wouldn't bother asking me about it. Yeah. And they don't really do it either. And it's like when they do, it's like it's very, you know, occasional, and you know, it's just drinking, and they can call it a night. Like instead of like carrying on and going through days on end, it's like they got a handle on it as well. Yeah. So I think we're all keeping each other accountable, and you know, they don't try and pretend that they're not doing it at all, and like we're very honest about it. Yeah. But like, yeah, man, I think it's just the people that are around me just make it a lot easier for me not to, you know, even be swayed. Because I think I'd probably just get fucking pissed off if I had those same old mates that, you know, I used to hang out with and party with. If they were still coming up to me now and asking me that shit, I'd think that they'd probably just would have given up by now. Yeah, I'd just fucking get the shits with them. Yeah, yeah. Stop asking me, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. No, look, man, it's really inspiring. And again, I want to give you props for what you did. It's brave. It's inspired a lot of people. And hopefully people are listening to this and seeing a deeper view, and they're either willing to try it, have a conversation with themselves, or just maybe share it with others.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's awesome, dude. Hey, man, I want to play a bit of a game with you if you're up for it.
Sure.
It's called Rapid Fire. Andy's Rapid Fire. So I'm going to ask you a bunch of different questions, and you just give me an answer as quick as you can. Yeah. And then the second part.
Into trouble with this
game. Absolutely. No. Not too much anyway. And then the next part, I'm just going to say a word, and then you say what comes to mind after it. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Rapid Fire, getting personal. You introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Cool. Are you more nurturing or hard-nosed?
Is hard-nosed like giving hard love?
Hard-nosed is in, like in business, very rational, very like take emotion out. Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Optimist or pessimist?
Optimist.
Of course. Man. Are you a soldier, captain, or visionary?
Captain.
Excellent. All right, here we go. Say what comes to mind. I am?
Happy.
Excellent. I hate?
Laziness.
I love.
Life.
Sacrifice.
What needs to be sacrificed?
Pain.
Pleasure.
Problems.
99 problems.
And booze ain't one.
Yeah.
The future is
Bright.
awesome. I love that. Man, tell us, what does the future hold for you over the next sort of 12 months? Like what's really got you fired up right now? I'm sure that your values have sort of realigned in different ways and you're really energized about a few things. What's the future hold for ZAC SMITH?
Well, as I said before, having a lot more time. I think, not taking those backward steps, not being hungover, not spending time, going out on the weekends and stuff has opened up a whole new avenue for me because I've got so much time to upskill.
Yeah.
So I've done a course in scalp micropigmentation, which is like doing those little head tattoos, doing the dots to make people look like they've got a nice hairline again.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did that course. I'm going to start doing clients now. I've just put up the ads on Facebook, so I'm doing that. I'm doing a dropship accelerator course with my friend Matthew Lepre. So I'm going to end up opening up a couple of dropshipping stores.
Awesome.
I'm still doing my fitness business, my online coaching business, revamping that with a new website start of next quarter, which I'm really excited about. So I'll have some new special and stuff available for anyone that wants to join up. Sponsors and everything like that. I'd love to be doing more travel, man. Yeah. But obviously, we're stuck. So as soon as that travel ban is lifted for us, my sponsors over in America will have me fly over there and we'll do some expos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As soon as that's a thing again, I'll be so happy. It's like it's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. To do expos and meet people and just travel, bro. I really miss it. It's like such a big part of my lifestyle. Yeah. So really keen on that. But just trying to upskill as much as I can. So once I've done these new things I just spoke about, I'll probably branch out and try and learn some new stuff. Yeah. And like I don't want to, invest a whole bunch of time into all of them all at once. I'll just kind of learn about them and then decide which ones I have more passion for and then invest some time into those individually and, try and get them up and running and just have like diversity in your portfolio, I think it's really important for people not to put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's epic, man. So obviously passion drives a lot of your decisions, a lot of what you do business-wise,
Yeah. Well, I mean, for myself, like the scalp micropigmentation that I was just talking about, the little head tattoo, I was starting to go bald on the back of my head, and my friend Carson actually did it for my head. Biggest change ever. It's
incredible.
Because whenever he's
I didn't know it was a thing until you told me about it. I was like, there you go.
Because when my exercises are getting filmed for YouTube or for my Instagram stories and stuff, like whenever you'd see the back of my head, you could see that balding patch. And I was like, oh, fuck. And like, it wasn't making me super upset or anything, but there's always people being like, you're going bald, bro. Yeah. Where's your hair at, bro?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'll show these.
Fuck.
I'll show
you know
these
what I
dudes.
mean?
Yeah, get this fixed.
Yeah. So I fixed it up and it increased my confidence a lot,
It's awesome.
And it feels good. So in terms of passion, what you're just saying, it's like for me to be able to help someone else with their insecurities and make them feel more confident is, the same reason why I started doing personal training. And started, getting to that field because I wanted to help people feel the way I felt. Yeah. I feel great when I'm training, and to be able to help other people feel the same way is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can see you got a big heart and a lot of what you do is based at serving other people and sort of sharing your challenges to help other people rise, which is so good to see, man. I think we need more, passionate, motivated people that out there doing that, doing that exact thing. Yeah. Dude, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
If we could get you in a time machine, take you back to meet little Zachy boy, and you could give him some solid advice to help his journey in life be better, more epic, get there faster, help him with confidence, whatever it may be. What advice would you give your younger self?
I think don't try and impress anyone. I think just be your authentic self, and from start to finish, always just be honest with everyone around you. I think there's so much time I spent trying to impress people and trying to like be cool, like going through high school. And I think the coolest people are people that just are honest and open and just completely transparent with everyone around them, because like some people can't handle it because they think that, they're being harsh. Yeah. And I get that now as well. Like some people are just like, did you just say that? And it's like, I'm just being honest, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but the way I say things sometimes comes across as abrasive. Yeah. But I think it's a great way to live, man. You don't have to remember anything. You're not lying to people. It's I tell my younger self just to be themselves a lot more and not worry about what other people have to think about them.
Yeah, I love that, man. Solid advice, especially in this day and age. I think that advice is more important now than ever.
Well, man, look at like the YouTube space, right? There's people on there vlogging that are just, you know, crazy out there personalities, and like they're not the typical cool person, and they're making millions of dollars a year, right?
Yeah,
just vlogging.
Yeah,
so it's like there's a space for anyone to do anything right now. This is the best time to be alive.
Yeah.
You know, so much going on, so many ways to make money.
Yeah.
You don't have to try and be like someone else.
Yeah.
At all.
Wake up and embrace that inner freak and just show the world, man. Embrace it. Be authentic. I love it. I love it. That's so good, dude. Man, where can our viewers, listeners find out more about what you're doing and where you're at?
If you want to know more about the sobriety journey, then my YouTube video is up there. The YouTube channel is ZAC SMITH Fitness. All my other channels, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, my website, it's all just ZAC SMITH Fitness.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Dude, what a journey. It's epic. Thank you so much for sharing. You're brave, you're killing it. And I know everyone's really taken a lot of golden nuggets from today. So again, thank you, my man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Pleasure, dude. Yeah.